Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please remain standing while Dr. Reinhold Schuster, Professor Emeritus, sings our national anthem.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please sit down. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 104th Convocation of the University of Waterloo. 104th Convocation. Now, as I was driving here, I was thinking about these engineering students, and you're all good at math, and of course, Canada is all about hockey. And I was thinking about the story of a coach, a school coach, a hockey coach, who went into the locker room and he met his star player, and he says, "We've got a problem. This is a big game, but you failed your math test. I'm allowed to give you one question. If you answer that question," he says, "you can play." One question, so listen carefully. Looked at him intently and he said, "What's the sum of 2 plus 2? So the star player looked at him for a second and thought about it. He said, 4. So the coach was real excited. Said, 4? And suddenly the whole team ran to the coach and said, "Come on, coach, give him another chance." That's not going to happen with you, with this group of graduates. So here at Waterloo, each convocation is a celebration of the achievements of our graduates. And this morning, we celebrate with those graduates in the Faculty of Engineering. On behalf of the Board of Governors and the Senate of the University, I'd like to express congratulations and best wishes to all those who will graduate this morning. Please savor every minute of today's ceremony and the celebrations that will follow with your circle of family and friends. Today is a rite of passage to an exciting future where you can apply knowledge, share your expertise, and continue learning. I also welcome the families and guests of the graduates. Your presence today is a tangible demonstration of your support and commitment to their success. We will begin with the conferring of honorary degrees and titles on individuals who have distinguished themselves in the academy. We will then confer bachelor's, master's, doctor's degrees. Finally, medals will be awarded to graduating students who have excelled in their studies. The proceedings will take less than 2 hours. and we ask that you remain in your places until Convocation is adjourned and the academic procession has left the Convocation Hall. The ceremony blends certain age-old university rites and protocols with a spirit of informality which characterizes Waterloo. We trust that it will be an occasion to enjoy and an occasion to remember. I offer you my congratulations, and as you move on from Waterloo, I challenge you. Take risks, be unconventional, but do not forget that honesty, integrity, and strength of character should be the driving force in all that you do. As an aside, when I was your age, I was introduced to a book by Napoleon Hill, and the name of the book was Think and Grow Rich, a wonderful book that studied success stories of businessmen, doctors, politicians, scientists, others. The book analyzed the principles behind their success and explained it in very simple terms, concluding finally with this line: what the mind can conceive, the mind can achieve. What the mind can conceive, the mind can achieve. So one day, when finally you've made your mark on this world, make sure that you give back to others less fortunate. After all, every one of us has benefited from the wisdom, advice, and generosity of others that have helped shape our careers. So let me end then with a Chinese proverb, and it goes something like this: if you want happiness for an hour, take a nap. If you want happiness for a day, go fishing. If you want happiness for a year, inherit a fortune. But if you want happiness for a lifetime, go help somebody. So ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you again to this convocation, and the convocation will now begin. Thank you very much.
Rayal Ray Tange. Mr. Chancellor, I present Ray Tange. Ray Tange, the first Canadian to be named Managing Officer and Senior Managing Officer of Toyota Motor Corporation, is an outstanding business leader who has made significant contributions to the automotive industry and to the University of Waterloo. Originally from Mattice, Northern Ontario, he graduated from St. Clair College in 1972 in electrical engineering technology. In 1983, he graduated from Wilfrid Laurier University in business management. Mr. Tange is concurrently Chairman of Toyota Motor Manufacturing Canada, Senior Managing Officer of the Toyota Motor Corporation in Japan, as well as Senior Vice President of Toyota Motor North America in New York, where he is Chief Risk Officer and Chief Quality Officer. Under his leadership, the Cambridge, Ontario Toyota plant expanded from 1 million to 3 million square feet and became the only location outside of Japan allowed to build the Lexus vehicle. Mr. Tange was instrumental in Toyota's decision to build the new Greenfield Automotive Assembly Plant in Woodstock, Ontario, representing a $1.1 billion investment and 2,000 new jobs. Recently, the company announced an additional $80 million investment in the Woodstock facility that will create an additional 400 new jobs by early 2013. Mr. Tange has long been a strong supporter of engineering research and education at the University of Waterloo, creating valuable opportunities for Canadian researchers to interact with a major Japanese company. He helped to introduce the university's co-op education program to Toyota, and he played a key role in developing the NSERC Toyota MapleSoft Industrial Research Chair in mathematics-based modeling and design. He completed a 6-year term on the university's Board of Governors in 2010, and he is currently in his 8th year as a member of the Faculty of Engineering's Dean's Advisory Council. Mr. Chancellor, in recognition of his extraordinary business leadership and his contributions to the University of Waterloo, I request that you confer the degree Doctor of Engineering, honoris causa, upon Ray Tanguay. I now invite Dr. Ray Tanguay to address Convocation.
Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, Provost, friends, member of the faculty, and especially the graduate. That's why I'm here today. So it is such an honor for me to share the stage with you today. It's a great feeling. And to be able to be honored with a doctorate degree of engineering. This is the greatest recognition that I can remember in my professional life. I also want to say a special mention to Dean Cedra and John McPhee for the good work that they've done and to the great support. Thank you very much. So, before I start my thoughts, you might think, well, that might sound strange for a car guy to tell you not to drive. But if you intend to party today and have some drinks, please don't drive. Because safety is #1 priority, and we want to have you to have a bright future. So, that's before I start to share my thoughts. Speaking of parties, at the end of May, I attended Dean Cedra's farewell party, and I was listening for about 3 hours of all the great things he said about Dean Cedra, and that's very impressive. But I also saw some parallel with him. By the way, it's not the height, and it's not the hair. And it's not about, in the Department of Intelligence, I also don't compete with him. I think he's far smarter than I am. But there's some things that we had in common. It's about the ability to create a vision, create a strategic plan, engage people, and sell our ideas. As a matter of fact, Dean Cedra is retiring because we're running out of space on the campus. We have too many buildings coming up, so we can welcome more students in the future. But thank you very much, Dean, for your great work. When I think about where I was 40 years ago, thinking about where you're sitting today and how I started. We mentioned about my graduation in April 1972. I was quick. By May 1972, I had my first job. It happened to be right here in Kitchener. I worked for Electrohome, which I had a great experience. But I quickly got into action. First, I got married in July 1973. To my wife Marge, who's over here today. Also, we bought our first house in October 1973, had our first child in July 1974, bought our second house in 1975, and we had our son, Stefan, in 1976. So we kept buying houses, but we stopped the children. It was going to be a little bit too much. When I think about how to get started. First of all, you have to build momentum in your life, and that's what I'm trying to say about how you start in life. And that's where the speed that we could make things happen, and that's a key point. But the next step was about joining the workforce. And you're probably thinking today, well, how am I going to get that first job? Select a good company and get in at whatever level, because the rest is up to you. After you're in the house, you can move up. And that's a very, very key point. In my case, I had an entry level at Electro Home, but within a year, I had the job that I really wanted, and was value engineering. And value engineering was very appropriate for me because I was raised on a farm where we had to do things with no money. So value engineering is about how to reduce costs, how to improve value. So I truly enjoyed that process. So to the point where maybe I was staying in that position longer than I should. But I soon realized that if I want to move up, and I always talking about spiraling up. So you first always start with the ground level, and then you're trying to build momentum. And in my case, I realized that I also need more education. And that's why I went back to continuing education for 5 years with nights and summers and schooling to try to get better education. I think education is extremely important, but it is not the end. It's a mean. It's a mean for us to be more capable of understanding how things work. Do you have the ability to perceive, the ability to change the outcome? Because that's what it's all about. Because when we go in business, I want you to think of yourself as problem solvers. And problem solvers, and how you grow up in the business world or in life, is always trying to spiral up, always trying to go to the next level. So that's a very, very key point that I want to share with you today. Also, I want to give you some examples of my commitment to not only think about what I need to do, but how do we share the same passion and the same thinking way. As it was mentioned, I am very, very supportive of the co-op programs. We've actually hired over 900 co-op students over the years. And we take that responsibility very seriously of how we need to mentor and teach about problem solving and how to do business in the workplace. A good example, every student that comes to our place in the co-op terms, they have to prepare a paper. And your president had the pleasure to attend one of those presentations not too long ago. And we give them an 11 by 17 paper. On one side of the paper is you start to do your assessment. First of all, you state your objectives, and then you start to focus in terms of what is the current condition, what's the ideal condition, what's the gap, what's the problem. And then you start to do this in half the paper. The second half of the paper, you're trying to start to analyze what are the factors that affects the current conditions. Why is it not perfect? And then you drill down till you get some root cause, and you start to zero in on some activities that you can make a change. And we give the students 8 minutes to present 4 months of work. And it's amazing the work, the presentation, the quality of presentation is fantastic. And always so proud of the co-op students that come to our place. So I know we have a bright future ahead of us because who you are today in this room. But you have to keep going up, right? You have to spiral up. So I'll give you another example where we're in the midair now. So we're stuck from the ground, we have to move up a little bit. So you have to take projects or things that people says you can't do, or people don't want to do. So I'll give you an example. We work with Dr. McPhee in this project. But we built the only RX Lexus outside of Japan, and we built the RX 350. And we wanted to improve the alignment of the vehicles. And everybody in Japan told us, and all the executives says, that is too difficult. We tried that in manufacturing. That's not a manufacturing responsibility, really. That's a design responsibility. But I adopted the Lexus Covenant. The Lexus Covenant says, if you think you can't, you won't. If you think you can, you will. We can and we will. That was our attitude going into that project. Please remember those words. They're great words. Then we decided, regardless, even if we fail, that would be a learning experience. But we will raise because we will gain some knowledge. Guess what? We've worked for 2 years. We've developed a MasterCard. And we analyzed every component that could affect alignment in a cause and effect. It took us 2 years to do this. You know what the result were? Learning. That was the greatest result. And the other result, we've improved alignment, we reduced the warranty claims by 50%. And that helped us last year to win the Platinum Plant Award for quality. That is the highest award of any automotive plants in the world. And our plant in Cambridge share that same trophy with our plant in Japan. That is reaching the top. But then, always trying to go to the next altitude, always spiraling up, always trying to go up. This one is, I had to deal with the top management of the company. The president, Akio Toyoda, the grandson of the founder. And I had to we identified there was a gap in our global vision. There were too many visions. It was not clear, especially in light of all the challenges we've had in the past 3 years. We need to renew our visions. We need to create a new vision for the company. And I spoke with him to great length that he had a lot of good background about his history and the culture and the values and principle. But I'd explain that is the most important thing as the roots of a plant. But you have to sell the fruits. Good roots makes good fruits. So he said clearly, well, you lead it. So I had a great idea. So we created the global vision. We created global vision by engaging people. We've engaged the world. We engaged all regions of Toyota. We've engaged over 2,350 people around the globe to develop the global vision. And then finally, we developed the global vision. And that is now going to the new heights in my career, because now I'm dealing at the highest altitude that I could reach in my time. So the learning point on that is it's not one step. It's a multiple step of spiraling up. But you have to start building momentum as you start, because otherwise you'll never go up. Otherwise you're going to be a spinning top. And you don't want to be a spinning top. You want to make sure that you go up to the highest level. Which brings me the idea of leadership. And you probably read a lot of books about leadership. I've got a very simple definition of leadership. You need followers. And that's why the vision and the strategic plan and selling your benefits, selling what you do, selling why you're doing it, really brings people together. And if people can see that you're going somewhere, people will follow. At that point, you become a leader. And that's the key for us in business. But as the Chancellor mentioned, values, principles. I do manage by values and principles. You have to stick. In Toyota, we have Toyota Way. We have our own principles in terms of how we do manage. We believe in the respect for people. We believe in continuous improvement. So that's why when people says, oh, well, there's no problem, we always say that's a problem. Because if you don't identify there's a problem, that means you don't have the ability to understand and see there's ways to improve. And that's a continuous improvement attitude. In my case, what I always try to do is trying to manage to the values of the company. And I have 3 words, and they're F words, and they're not bad F words, they're good F words. So first is to be fair. Always think about how to be fair, and always trying to keep a good balance. We have a lot of stakeholders, and I've managed a company over the years, always trying to make sure we have a balance between satisfying our team members, our customers, the community, and our shareholders. Always trying to be fair, always trying to keep a balance. The other one is be firm. Be firm. When you decide to do something, stick with it. Otherwise, you're going to be a flip-flop. And we know what happened with those. You go nowhere. So we have to be committed in the directions, we have to be firm in our directions, and that is also strength of leadership. And at the end, we're all people. And we have to be humble, and we have to be friendly. And that's what I share with Dean Cedra as his friendship. So thank you very much for today. This is a great honor. I can't imagine, I couldn't imagine years ago that I would be here addressing the graduates of 2012, but I'm so pleased to be here and to share my approach. and I wish you all great success. Thank you very much.
Dr. Tanguay, thank you for that excellent talk and life story to get in the house, get your momentum, and spiral up. That's what we expect out of our graduates. And also thank you for opening the ceremony with our first degree. So I would now like to ask our graduates to please stand. Mr. Chancellor, I present those scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of the University that they may be admitted to their various and several degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me at the University, I hereby admit you to your various and several degrees with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining.
Okay, you may be seated. And now it's my great pleasure to invite Douglas Fournier to come forward to deliver the valedictory speech.
Mr. Chancellor, members of Convocation, fellow graduates, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, I'd like to acknowledge the many ways that you've shown your support. Your guidance and encouragement have been fundamental in shaping us, the engineering class of 2012, into the professionals that we are today. It is for this that we give our most sincere gratitude. My peers, the projects have been completed, the presentations have been given, and our final exams are now just fond memories of days gone by. Today we celebrate our accomplishments as a collective one last time. Our individual achievements have been diverse and far-reaching, but one achievement that we all share and should be extremely proud of is the completion of our degree. Every one of us deserves the ring on our pinkies and the paper that will soon be in our hands. Congratulations to us all. From the outside looking in, the University of Waterloo garners attention from thousands of people the world over who choose to take an interest in us. Within the university, our focus is more defined. At least in the beginning, what we give our attention to is not as much a choice as it is a necessity. Most of you will recall the first time we sat in RCH 101, 5, 6, perhaps 7 years ago. It was the first day of orientation week and we were excited. We were nervous, and understandably, we were a bit overwhelmed. It's hard to know what to expect when confronted by a group of chain-bearing, bad-haired day, tough-looking people and a swarm of cheery, extremely colorful, chronically smiling leaders. It was there that you were first asked for your attention, and it would sure not be the last time. When the fun of orientation week had come to a close, we then started classes and began focusing our attention on our professors and lecturers, the content that they had begun teaching us, and doing everything in our power to succeed. By the time exams rolled around, we were shedding our blood, sweat, and tears on the crisp new textbooks we had purchased religiously. Those were the nights that we should never forget. The next big step was experiencing what most of us come to this university for, the co-op program. For those of us in 4-stream, we were expected to pay attention to job postings only weeks after starting our first classes. Once we had applied, we were constantly focusing our attention on refreshing JobMine as soon as we woke up, throughout the day, and no doubt a few times before we went to bed. Once we had applied, one way or another, we were all eventually employed, despite facing the unexpected challenge of learning how to write HTML 30 minutes before postings would close. No matter what challenges we faced in entering our professional environments so early on, I'm confident that not one of us would change those incredibly valuable experiences for anything. Through all the struggles of the first few years of university, we developed bonds and friendships with our peers who were all in it with us. Many of us created those bonds by focusing our attention outside of lecture halls. For some, organizing, facilitating, or simply participating in the many events that our engineering society put on gave us much needed escape from our studies, as well as an opportunity to play just as hard as we worked. For others, student teams provided an outlet to divert our attention away from our day-to-day schedules and to build relationships with new people. Nothing says trust like driving a vehicle 100 miles per hour around a track that was built just a few days ago by your best friend. Or racing down a snow-covered slope aboard a giant slab of concrete. Whether it was these teams or the many others, varsity or campus rec athletics, student government, one of the many clubs, or even a study group, everything we gave our attention to helped to bring us together. Whether you've chosen to advance your academics, begin your professional career, or simply take time to do what you please, there are millions of organizations, people, and especially problems that are competing for your attention today. During our time here, our attention has been guided and focused with some opportunity to experience a few things on our own. Now, as we embark on the next stages of our lives, what we focus on is completely our decision, and an important one at that. None of us have the time to do everything we wish, and it is what we choose with this freedom that will shape the person that each one of us will become. Thank you very much for the honor and privilege of speaking to you today, and for giving me your attention throughout my address. I now challenge you to turn your attention to the challenges of your personal and professional lives, while always remembering our professional obligation to do what's right for our lives and the lives of others.
Chancellor, President, Provost, good morning, everyone. Let me first say what a great address that Douglas has provided, very inspiring. And let me once more thank Ray Tanguay for the tremendous support and help that he has provided this faculty and advice that he was very generous in giving us over the last 9 years when I had the privilege of leading the faculty, and Ray for the tremendous opportunities that you have made for our students at Toyota. And I'm sure all of that will continue. And thank you for this very inspiring address. Tremendous. Well, now I want to turn to the graduates. Of course, Ray is also a graduate. I started with him. The class of 2012. Good morning and congratulations, everyone. As you walk out of here today, you will be joining an illustrious group of Waterloo engineers, numbering over 34,000. By the end of today, they will number over 35,000. This wonderful, illustrious group live and work across Canada and in all corners of the world. We are immensely proud of their achievements, and we will be proud of yours. With the rigorous academic curriculum you have followed, as well as the co-op program, which is the hallmark of your Waterloo engineering education, we are confident that you will be graduating ready to make a significant contribution to engineering and more broadly to the prosperity of our society and the quality of life of your fellow citizens. The only advice I can give you today is to select carefully and wisely among the various options that will be open to you. Select a job and a career that will give you, in the first instance, satisfaction and indeed enjoyment. For then and only then, you will be able to excel and make your mark. And more importantly, you'll be able to lead a life of contentment and fulfillment. On behalf of Waterloo Engineering and all of your professors and the staff who worked hard to make your educational experience here a meaningful one, I congratulate you on your achievements. Two more requests. First, take the rest of the day off and celebrate your accomplishments and share your joy with your family and friends. Second, remain in touch with your school. We will continue to work hard to keep Waterloo Engineering among the best engineering schools in the world, and in this way to keep your degrees valuable. And we will need your involvement and your support in a variety of ways. Once more, congratulations and best wishes for impactful careers and happy and productive lives. Good morning.
Thank you, Dean Sedra. Well, as the folks before me have said, today is really a great day. This is because you are about to graduate from one of the world's premier institutions and from one of the absolute best faculty of engineering in the world. You started on a journey of a lifetime making an excellent choice to come to the University of Waterloo. And all of us at the university have benefited from you being here, from getting to know you, from learning from you, from guiding you. You have kept the standard for student achievement high, and we're proud of you. The choices you make today will be the life you will lead tomorrow. The true benefit of your Waterloo education is still ahead of you. Now, I think it's really important to recognize that there's been a whole community of people around you that extends well beyond those of us here at the University of Waterloo. And each of them have played a key role in your journey. So graduates, I want you to remember to let the circle be unbroken, and families, parents, grandparents, partners, children, could you please rise? Graduates, join me in acknowledging the support you've received. Thank you. You can sit now, or if you want to stand for the rest of the ceremony, that'd be okay too. So we're just about ready to begin presenting our degrees, but before that, there's a couple of logistical announcements. I suspect many of you want to take photographs of your graduates, and if you do, if you could exit the Convocation Hall at the end over here, go around the outside hall, you'll wind up right back here in front where you can take your photographs, and when you're done, just reverse your steps back to your seat. And graduates, to be respectful to your colleagues, I'd appreciate it if you could return to your seats as quickly as possible after receiving your degrees. And now, Mr. Chancellor, I invite Professor Kwase to the podium to begin to present the degrees.
Mr. Chancellor, it is my honor to present to you graduates who have satisfied the requirements for the Bachelor of Applied Science in Chemical Engineering. Okay. Syed Hashan Aftab, Anas Hamid, Megan Allen. Rajat Ashwarya, Jonathan Ben, Kumail Bandukwa. Corey Bennett, Anish Bhutani, Michael John Bielowski.
Doyle rules!
Graham Alexander Bott, Stephen William Brody, Lorena Locklock Chan. Gary Chang, Kitty Yo Mei Cho, Rishan Cho. Maris Chutumstil, Michelle David, Carlos Alberto Daza Donoso. Maria Renee Desat, Alicia Jayan Deshpande, Jason Robert Draws. Christine Suzanne Duchesne, Julian Hilderts, Thomas Dylan Finley. Matthew Genovese, also the recipient of the Sanford Fleming Foundation Medal for Cooperative Work Term Proficiency. Eric Anthony Gaspar, Amalia Maria Gil Mobeno, Stephen Ganesh Gopal. Arman Hassan, Melanie Jane Hazlett, Justin Len Herrick. John Patrick Hinton Barber, Alexander Joseph Hunt, Randa Itani. Suhin Jan, Muhammad Haris Jawed, Shiamini Jayapati. Surjit Kaur Johal, Manal Khan, Zakir Khan. Bae-jung Kim, Brian Ki-hoon Kim, Matthew Derek Richard Park. Philip Clark, Gregory Lasky, James Andrew Douglas Lenke. Sarah Eileen Lyon, Johanna Lyon Harvey Tinton, Chan Yo. Heather Allison Lomax, Matthew Scott Mahaffey, Colin John McLean. Naile Mehta, Ravinder Multani, Peter Chun Y. Brenda Nguyen, Syed Puya Nushor Hosseini, Brendan Edward Oshie. Jessica Petras, Alessandra Pizzolato, A.J. Mark Ramno. Isaac Victor Rose, also the recipient of the Sanford Fleming Foundation Medal for Academic Excellence. Cameron Robertson, Kyle Jacob Rost, Damien Kelvin Kirk Roth. Andrew Roy, Jordan Douglas Scott, Yoon Kim Shin. Methodius Febrian Siabini, Tana Situ, Brain Edward Sloper. Matthew James Small, Keval Solanki, Cerebral Sign. Alan Tai, Adam Tonjes, Zushan Tong. Tanya Khan, Triratana Pitak, Elise Michelle Vale, David Chi Wei Wang. Timothy P. Hill Wong, Bobby Lee White, Andrew K. Y. Wong. Jennifer Wu, Brandon Rana, Janet Chi Yen Wu. Hilary Down Young, also the recipient of the Roy Duxbury Leadership Award. Jae-hoon Jason Ya, Jake Young, Arthur Hong Chun Yi. Brian Chuan Ho Yu. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. I now invite Professor Byrne to continue the presentation.
Mr. Chancellor, it's my honor to present to you the graduates who satisfy the requirements for Bachelor of Applied Science degree in Civil Engineering. Shane Patrick Adams, Ryan Howe, Nolan James Ahola, also recipient of the Sanford Fleming Foundation Medal for Cooperative Work Term Proficiency. Sean Babaluk, Alexa Caroline Baker, Milenia Christiana Vela Sheres. Bradley Burrows, Christine Campbell, Caitlin Carlson. Matthew Robert Thomas Caswell, Nicole Marie Coltman, Michael Stephen Joseph Siski. Kaylee Den Draper, Jordan DeWolf, Nathan Denani. Nicholas Doucette, Adam Michael Livingston, Elizabeth Marie Easby. Timothy Edmondson, Rick Ferguson, Michael Ferguson. Bruce Arnold Fournier, Mark Edward Iacoli, Jesse Lauren Pacon. Raymond Haffer, Fahim Hamidi, David Patrick Hagerty. Mylin Ho, Justin Minsub-G, Scott Jones. Ollie Kerslake, Omar Khaled, Dui Hung Kim. Wesley Edward Stanley Kingdon, Haven Elizabeth Landy, Luca Lavarato. Alicia LaHave, Timothy Leon, Paige Elaine Long. Karen Lee, Frank Min Mack, Leslie Ann McDonald. Natalie Jean McDonald, Shankar Maharaj, Hassan Nathia. Misha Fatima Mazhar, Marco Mamari, Ashley Marie Montero. Vanessa Nellie Nickel, Joel Mason, Olusin Oluskin Olufmin. Eshin Kasha, Stuart Grant Pearson, Rebecca Christina Pinto. Preeti Prabhakar, Aharma Kutsatati, Michael Lloyd Raymer. Kristen Michelle Roberts, Timothy John Peter Tribishnar, Benjamin Donald Scott. Nathan C., Irene So Young Sue, Croyman Sun. Caitlin Amoy Speecher, Norman Sue, and Christine Church. Amir Telegahani, also recipient of the Sir Casimir Stanislaw Stowski Medal for Excellence in Communication. Mark Wendell Ang Can, Colin Brandy Van Nationhoos, Elena Yulan Wang. Richard Alexander Wu, Peter An Yao Yu, Brian Yan Yun Yu. Mr. Chancellor, it's also my honor to present to you graduates who satisfy the requirements of the Bachelor of Applied Science degree in Environmental Engineering. Honor Justin Alabi, Sydney Bateman, Abid Chaudhry. Michelle Cho, also recipient of the Stanford Fleming Foundation Medal for Academic Excellence. Charlotte Dubett, Cameron Dunning, Leanne Margaret Griffith. William Carl Hamilton, June Harada, Nathan Michael Howes. Liang Kung Si, Kathleen Jarvis, Logan Ann Beth. Amanda Krishna Kumar, Anna Carolina Kroll, Sonia Lee. Justin Shimon Lim, Lisa Liu, Philip John Lowe. Andrew Malpass, Michael McKee, Braden McNeil. Isak O, Keely Alexander Oxford, Alia Rahman. Maximilian Joaquin Shamana, Shaba Shringi, Matthew Stevenson. Graham Albert Stonebridge, Yan Yan Carolyn Twong. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. I now welcome Professor Mark Knight to the podium for the Geological Engineering students.
Mr. Chancellor, it is my honor and privilege to present to you graduates who have
completed requirements for the Bachelor of Applied Science degree in Geological Engineering. Justin Hughes, Rebecca Cameron, James Campbell. Gregory Gambino, Kaylin Hiller, and James Kutowski. Nabil Khan, also recipient of the George Default Medal for Excellence in Communication. Mathusen Shaban Nagam, Natalia Shamorsky, and James Smith. Nicholas Georges. Mr. Chancellor, that ends the Applied Science and Geological Engineering, and I welcome Frank Seth Dennis.
Mr. Chancellor, may I present to you the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Applied Science in Management Engineering. This is a very special group as they are our first graduating class, and we are very proud of them. Harleen Paul Ahuja, Yusuf Al-Qadir, Danusha Chantapari Amabdahavita, Arsha Amir Gaza, Timothy John Annan, Anirudh Kabali. Ju Peng Chen, Corey Chung, Karen Ji Lon Choi. Rashid Fuad El-Latki, E. Jordan Frost, Kanan Patrick Gallagher, Ji Jung Hong, Amanda Mary Leduc, Jessica McPhee, Curtis Leon, also the recipient of Sanford Fleming Foundation Medal for Academic Excellence. Taranasim Nadaraja, Andrew David Novakovsky, Ari Koshi Panonen. Wen Kin, Michael John Quinden, Muhammad Amer Rafiq. Tofik Ramji, Paranav Sampat, Hativet Satyen Samarat. Rachit Shankar, Jonah Shin, Suraj Sirenebas. Tayfun Uzun, Alphonse Vermeulen, Adam Wright. Xuanyi Yu Shenzan. Mr. Chancellor, I now invite Professor Pearl Sullivan to the podium.
Mr. Chancellor, it is my great honor to present the 50th graduating class who have completed the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Applied Science, Mechanical Engineering. Sarosh Adil, Shabi Ahmad Sadiq, Yu Hun An. Michael Baldessara, Manpreet Singh Bansal, Jennifer Lynn Book. Gregory Patrick Bowers, Daniel Bradshaw, Michael Durant. Saad Bait, Adriana Cameron, Yik Ting Ching, Yu Suk Eric Cho, Thomas Choi. Dominic Chomko, Bradley Cotton, Edward Daniel Sear. Daniel D'Souza, Nolan James Dyke, Nicholas Dykeman. Brian Fuderak, Patrick Ravel Fitzgerald, Eric Florent Wilson. Cyril Francis, Dante Stephen Galutira, Isabel Cristina Geraldo Gomez. Ronald Gizzi, Syed Zishan Haider, Ralph Hager. Devin Robert Hall, Paul Patrick Hamill, James Hillier. Inman Anthony Ho, Mickey Ho, Christopher John Hoyle. Kevin Wei Kyung Hwang, Abhinav Iyer, Andrew John McIntosh Yanitz. Hamza Jaredite, Vinod Jagan Mohan, Andy Kasaki. Woo! Kyle Benjamin Keats, Michael K., Brian Quinn Kettlewell. Harneet Singh Khurana, In Yuk Ying, Aljosa Prajisnik. Rolf Pucel, Jeffrey William Leslie LeBon. Richard Dean LaFlamme, Nicholas Andrew Lancaster, Kelvin Law. Reese Lawrence, Eddie Lee, Jung Min Lee. Justin Lee, Mabel Leung, Timothy Leung. Shi Li, John Lin, Ding Yung Lin. Kiefer William Lindsay, Bolin Liu, Graham Lloyd Smith. Chun Ting Chris Lok, Man Ching Ma, Sander Adam Maxai. Naveed Maharaj, Ethan David Maiolo, Neil McCann. Jeffrey Ernest John McClure. Jeffrey is also the recipient of the Sanford Fleming Foundation Medal for Academic Excellence. Jordan Allen McCormack, Hal William McPhail, Piotr Matus. Emmanuel Christian Miranda, John Mitchell, Alan Mock. Jason Bradley Neville. Jason is also the recipient of the Sanford Fleming Foundation Medal for Academic Excellence. Joshua Ho Long Ng, Andy Wing. Richard Wing, Jordan Douglas Allen Nix, Adlai Nuruddin. Osironaman Orefo, Nirav Kumar Patel, Roberto Novo Pages. Matthew Charles Phillip, Aaron Antonio Pinto, Derek Potsiati. Cody Pradaniel, Inderpreet Singh Rishi, Jeremy Nolan Rasmussen. Sogol Rupavar Sadeh, Fahad Salimi, Kyler Sanderson. Ryan Shepard, Akshad Segal, Majid Shego. Tian Yu Si-tu, Scott Joseph Sinasak, Michael William Smythe. David Edward Michael Sommer. David is also the recipient of the Sanford Fleming Foundation Medal for Cooperative Work Term Proficiency. Franklin Michael Jeffrey Strauss. Franklin is the recipient of the Canadian Society for Mechanical Engineering Gold Medal for Outstanding Academic Achievement in Mechanical Engineering. Vijay Christopher Supra, Christopher Michael Sablinski, Andrew Malcolm Taipo. Nicholas Tam, Samson Sai Shing Tam, Dustin Alexander Vickers. Tabish Wahid, Joshua James Wallace, Timothy John Whitney. Ronald Pak Tung Woo, Hinkle Yung, Obaidullah Yunus. Nelson Ka Luk Yu, Yu Zhang, Sylvester Suk. William Sagotny. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. I wish to now invite Professor Sanjeev Bedi to the podium.
Mr. Chancellor, it's my great pleasure and honor to present the graduates who have finished the degree requirements for Bachelor of Applied Science in Mechatronics Engineering. Ahmed Salam, Samuel Abbey, Anas Romi. Temitope Akinspi, Hyacinth and Matthew Leonard Bailey. Sabatino Bianchi, Ashish Bidari, Robert Joseph Brooks. Shahavir Bhuriwala, Gabriel Chan, Richard Ino Chang. Michael Chen, Hyung Jun Chung, David Koskin. Andre Ganala, Michael Bryan Delandre, Mark Paul DiFranco. Abdul Hamid Babli, Douglas Fournier, Albert Fung. Evan Daniel Goldenberg, also the recipient of the Sanford Fleming Foundation Medal for Academic Excellence. Aaron Grant, Scott Michael Nicholas Greenberg, Chanakya Gupta. Mario Siu Lang Hugh, Michael Bartos Hull, Mozin Hussain. Basharat Javed Abhilesh Jaykumar Rahil Javani. Jae Yon Kang, Donjing Ko, Christopher Peter Kohar. Stephen Ross Lake, Chang Ki Lee, Adam Yong Hee Lee. Brandon Leong, Eugene King Ho Lee, Tian Yu Richard Liang. Song Chi Lien, Kyle William Litchfield, Dorothy Liu. Craig Edward Mackenzie, Wasim Mansoor, Christopher Dillon, Macaulay Hayden. David Otto Conrad Mikola Yeski. Shaheen Minhas, Bradley Michael James Morris. Peter Glenn Mullen, Sasanka Nagawali, Igor Napolskiki. Ricky Yikhi Nagan, David Van Negun, Eric Nicholas Paul Nyland. Bhatri Pham, Andre Marianne Papusku, Rohit Rajan. Adil Raza, James Dustin Servos, Nikhil Sharma. Alexander Simovic, Adrian Thirmal, Jordan Valentin. Yafai Wang, Michael Welsh, Timothy Wong. Zhenhua Yan, Chenjin Yi, Dipinder Singh Yogi. Jenny Zheng, Hao Zhu. Mr. Chancellor, I would like to invite Professor Holdenby to the podium.
Mr. Chancellor, may I present to you the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Architectural Studies. Carlo Luigi Passini, Cam Ming Mark Tam, I would like to invite to the podium Ray Legg, Associate Dean, Graduate Studies, Faculty of Engineering, to present graduate degrees in Engineering and Architecture.
Mr. Chancellor, it is my honor to present to you candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree Master of Applied Science. Zara Abidi, Norin Rehan Abedin, Ayman Alisyan. Alberto Betancourt, Matthew Daly, Shirley Jacqueline Gamba, Anita Isakani, Rodrigo Alejandro Eng, Shahabidin El Salami, Salome Gasmian, Nicholas Ignagni, Vignesh Jakakrishna. Masume Karimi, Wuju Lee, Robert Thomas Matthew LePage. Fariba Nirui, Valerie Orr, Shahar Ramani. Sarah Ramani, Yazir Rizwan, Asim Rustum. Daniel Scott, Muhammad Umar Shah, Hamid Shahsavan. Miriam Shahateri, Shabnam Storky, Theodoros Vasilopoulos. Yen Che Wu, Fei Yang, Rifang Zhu. Mr. Chancellor, Mr. Chancellor, it is my pleasure to present to you the candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree Master of Architecture. Andre Daniel Arsenault, Gordon Graff, Kavita Jayakrishnan. Mariusz Kisalewski, Darcy McNinch, Alicia Margarita Gomez Neves. Bien Nguyen, Ryan Michael Olson, Sheldon Ricketts. Terry Hun Tae Sin, John Christopher Rossetti Williamson. Mr. Chancellor, it is my honor to present to you candidates who have fulfilled the degree requirements for the degree Master of Engineering. Jonathan Atkinson, Albert Beginian, Yan Bing Chi. Ravindra Gopal, Nihal J. Gunanaramne, Christopher John Hoffman, Z. Hu, David Reza Malani, Jan Mohammed Habib, Hong Jun Moo, Fida Mohammed, Andrew Henner, Fengdu Tian, Fan Zhang, Gary W. Cook. This degree is being awarded posthumously and is being accepted by Gary's wife, Laurel, and children Ashley and Rodney. Mr. Chancellor, it is my honor to present to you candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree Master of Management Sciences. Ayir Abudareksi, Atif Ejaz, Hassan Asif, Audrey Harloon Oy, Abhishek Bachal, Noel Valentine Michael Butler, Gallo Hernan Castillo, Yutyen Chen, Bandar Dawaze, Zan Du, Fashi Zaman Khan, Sausan Hasir Mahmoud, Homa Nabili, Ravitaja Nandan La, Wende Unara, Yasaman Sartipi, William Stewart Sayers, Krishna Singh, Faiza Valley, Tomas Wasek, Jason Robert George Wilson, Yana Zen, Mr. Chancellor, it is my honor to present to you candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy. Kayvan Ahmadi, Mohammed Hassan Murad Chowdhury, Sianat Farhad, Barbara Elizabeth Whitbeck, Vinnie Henderson, Lee Hay, Zichao Li. Andrew Maxwell. Mohammed Mesami. Ali Ashkar Mozenipur. Saida Naderi. Arash Shahi, also the recipient of the Amit and Meena Chakma Awards for exceptional teaching by a student. Yazir Shanjani. Yelda Turkan. Zhaolin Yao. Mirzaman Zaman Zande. Mark Stephen Shockey. Mr. Chancellor, I now request you to confer in absentia the various and several degrees upon those candidates who were approved by Senate but who were unable to be present at today's convocation.
I confer the degrees in absentia.
Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. I now ask that the Vice President, Academic and Provost Sally Ann Keller join the podium.
Congratulations. Now it's my great honor to present the Award of Excellence in Graduate Supervision. The Graduate Studies Office, in collaboration with the Graduate Student Association, established the Award of Excellence in Graduate Supervision to recognize faculty who have demonstrated outstanding commitment and success in the supervision of their graduate students. Graduate student supervision has many dimensions, including being a mentor, advisor, collaborator, strategist, sponsor, supporter, and sometimes a lifelong friend. The relationship between graduate student and supervisor is complex, and effective graduate supervision requires dedication and commitment to all aspects of the welfare and success of the student. Mr. Chancellor, I present Dr. Gary Rempel. Professor Rempel is one of Waterloo's academic elite, being among the first to hold the distinction as university professor. He has received numerous awards and distinctions. He has served on various journal and editorial boards. He has been active in the Royal Society of Canada. He has distinguished himself internationally as a scholar with over 283 journal publications, as well as 35 patents. His scholarly research output can be seen as a testimony to his dedication to his students, as they are the co-authors and co-inventors in his publications and patents. All letters of support testify to the high quality and dedication to graduate supervision that is characterized by a style that encourages independence and creativity while being supportive along the way. A past student best sums up the commitment in the following quote: "That period of time has been the most remarkable in my life. Dr. Rempel is incredibly intelligent and was an amazing supervisor. Under his mentorship, I have learned many lessons which have proven important for the development of my career and the direction of my life." Mr. Chancellor, in recognition of the guidance and inspiration that he has provided to his graduate students, I ask you to present Professor Gary Rempel the Award of Excellence in Graduate Student Supervision. And now, Mr. Chancellor, I invite John Baker to announce the name of the winner of the Alumni Gold Medal.
Mr. Chancellor, members of Convocation, ladies and gentlemen, since 1957, almost 155,000 individuals have graduated from Waterloo University. Today, the class of 2012 joins that great assembly as they've crossed the stage and made the transition from student to alumni. Graduates, as your time as students may be coming to an end, I hope that the connection to the university will last a lifetime. I urge you to explore the opportunities the university offers you to learn, to grow, and to contribute. In that spirit of connection, Waterloo's alumni are proud to recognize each year those undergraduate and graduate students who have achieved academic excellence, earning the highest average in their faculty. At Spring Convocation, we honor the undergraduate students in each faculty, while in the Fall Convocation, we recognize the master's and doctoral programs. To each of these exceptional students, we award the Alumni Gold Medal. This solid gold medal, engraved with the recipient's name and degree, as well as the university insignia, symbolizes their outstanding efforts. Mr. Chancellor, as a 2000 graduate of the Faculty of Engineering and a member of the Alumni Council, I'm pleased to present to you the 2012 recipient of the Alumni Gold Medal for the Faculty of Engineering. He graduated from St. Thomas Aquinas Catholic Secondary School and today graduates with a Bachelor of Applied Science in Chemical Engineering, Isaac Victor Rose.
The University of Waterloo is proud to have been invited to award the Governor General's Gold Medal for academic merit in graduate program. This gold medal is being presented to the graduate student who achieved the highest standing in the university in a master's program. Matthew Daly's innovative master's research involves the application of a novel laser processing technology to enhance the functional properties of conventional smart materials. His research has resulted in significant industrial interest, which is reflected in several industrial collaborations. Matthew has an excellent publication record with 3 refereed publications and 5 conference presentations. This is a remarkable achievement for a master's student. One of his conference papers won the Best Student Paper Award at the prestigious American Society of Mechanical Engineers Conference on Smart Materials, Adaptive Structures, and Intelligent Systems. Matthew's GPA exceeds the minimum academic requirements with an impressive GPA of 94.5%. What happened to the 5.5%, Matthew? And he was a recipient of the Sanford Fleming Foundation Teaching Assistant Excellence Award, which reflects his passion for teaching. Matthew has also made several contributions to the Center for Advanced Material Joining, which has been demonstrated through his outstanding leadership, excellent character, and maturity. Overall, Matthew has demonstrated exceptional performance in all areas of his program. Mr. Chancellor, I request that you present the Governor General's Gold Medal for 2002 to Matthew Daly. I think I said 2002. I meant to say 2012. He may have won it in 2002. Who knows? Ladies and gentlemen, I was going to say good morning, but it's not morning anymore. It's good afternoon. It's been a fabulous morning. We saw many, many of our graduates crossing this platform with full confidence, very happy, and very proud of their achievements. This is a significant day for all of us. This is indeed, in fact, a very, very important week for me personally and for my colleagues here. This is the week that we dream for from the first moment you step onto this campus. And this is what everybody here, mainly your faculty, but staff members, your counselors, your advisors, people who fix light bulbs to your professors who do their research and who are very passionate about teaching you in the classroom. We've been waiting for this day, and this day is here today. It's been a long day, as I said, so I'm not going to keep you here too long, but let me leave you with 3 thoughts that I think are very important to me, and I believe they will be very important to you as well. I want you to be very proud of your institution, very proud of this university. As John Baker mentioned, this university started out in 1957, now has over 155,000 alumni, and after this afternoon's event, this number is going to go up to 160,045. In 1957, this university started with 78 students with no buildings. And look around you today, where we are. Furthermore, the faculty from which you're graduating is ranked as one of the top 50 faculties of engineering in the world, one of the best. And with your contributions, with your remarkable work that you're about to embark upon, we are going to go much higher up. Our impact is going to be felt all around the globe. I'm very, very proud. I'm very happy to see that as I talk to many of you today, that in addition to your fantastic confidence, that your ideas, your plans, where you're going, what you'll be doing, they are very exciting. That is what motivates all of us to be here and to push the boundaries of excellence even further. I also want you to be very, very proud of your own accomplishments, that you went through a very, very rigorous education here, 5 years for most of you, maybe a little longer for some of you, but at the end, You earned your degree. This is your degree. It's nobody else's. This is your degree. The Senate approved your degrees. Each and every one of you went through the process. If you look at your degrees, you will see 3 signatures there, mine and the dean's and the registrar's. And we didn't take it lightly. We made sure that you earned that degree. And my gosh, you did earn the degree. You earned it with your hard work, with a great deal of responsibility, and most importantly, with a great deal of integrity. So be very proud of your own accomplishments. And thirdly, let me tell you that we are all very, very proud of you. We will be watching your progress, your career achievements very closely, and you are the ones, as I said, will take this university to the newer heights. Isaac Newton was once asked how he was able to see much, much farther than many others in his vision in science. He said he could do this because he stood on the shoulders of giants, so he could see farther. You are our giants. We are standing on your shoulders. We are counting on you. You are our future. You're our future leaders. Thank you very much for being with us. And parents, partners, spouses, children, brothers, sisters, you helped a lot for them to be here. You're here today cheering for them, and I heard some of them. They were very, very excited. But there are so many who couldn't be here with us for various reasons, and there are those who are not with us any longer. But we felt their presence here today, and they were also cheering for you. Thank you very much for being with us again.